Well. I had this video planned. I did the thumbnail a week ago. Um, and I was like, when should I put the video? When should I go and make a video? Let me give it a little bit more time. And I feel like yesterday's Raw has given me the perfect time and opportunity to speak about said subjects. Now, obviously, you've seen the title of the video, you've seen the thumbnail by now, so you know what I'm talking about. You have to understand, and if you don't understand, it's your problem. This isn't coming from a place of hate. I've wanted this to do well. I've wanted this to do great. I put everything into all my faith into this gimmick, this new run, this new iteration of said Wyatt or Wyatt Sicks, if you will. And I feel like even though people have told me in comment sections, wait a little bit, let it cook. Yeah, there's a point to that. There's a point to that. It is still early days, but they've debuted a while ago now. They came out with a crash and a bang. It was, I don't know, it was a thrilling debut. It was exuberating. It was something different for WWE, what they've done in a while. It was a bit cheesy in a way, but kind of cool. There's a bit of house, like haunted house at the fairground style. And it wasn't terrible. Quite enjoyed it for the time. If anyone sees my reaction to it on TikTok or YouTube, that was a genuine reaction. I was excited because I had to build my way into accepting that somebody was going to take on the mantle of what Bray Wyatt left behind, and he was such a great wrestling mind, such an intriguing wrestling mind that WWE didn't even know what to do with Bray. So for somebody else to take over, nonetheless his brother, which I rate, it was going to be hard. The beauty of it was that Bray Wyatt, while he was still with us, introduced the Uncle Howdy character, and it was his brother. So there's always that going, okay, well, Bray Wyatt didn't know that he was going to pass, but he would have had these conversations, shared ideas with his brother. So I'm guessing with the brain of his brother, which he's got a great wrestling brain, to be honest, but with the mind of his brother and the mind of his creative and his artist and the costume designer and all these things, maybe it'll be able to put something together. And then when the Wyatt Sicks came along, you tried to pull it to the back of your mind of who were encompassing the life of those puppets. And now I can't shift it. Now, Rowan was an original Wyatt member, so I was kind of for that. But when you look at the rest of them, and I mean this with all due respect, I think within their own right, they have been really good to decent characters. I think Joe Gacy was really doing something on NXT with his group. I thought that was good. But obviously NXT is known as developmental. Loomis, again, I mean, he got released from the company, so they weren't doing much with him. But I like the silent character, but they obviously weren't doing enough for him. And then Nikki, Insanity, I liked her. Nikki ASH and the superhero gimmick was rubbish. And then they had her walking around crazy backstage. And then obviously you got Bo, who also left the company a while ago. We have to just be honest, innit? It's a group of mid-card talent that WWE didn't want to or had nothing for in the first place. And now under the name and the under the name and stature of Bray Wyatt, they've been given a chance, but it's rubbish. It's rubbish. I'm trying to lie every week, but this week was this was it. This standoff with Karrion Kross and the Final Testament, they got left. They laid Final Testament, who have been jobbing out and losing every match anyway, laid waste to Wyatt Sicks. I thought they had supernatural powers. I thought they were indestructible. I watched Bo Dallas or Uncle Howdy. I watched him no-sell about 10 German suplexes from Chad Gable. I watched Rowan run for a barricade and get straight back up. They're kidnapping people. But then all of a sudden, they're normal again. And this was always going to be the problem. The moment they had their in-ring debut, where there was a tag team match, I switched off from that moment. I didn't like, the wrestling was just normal wrestling. The finisher is rubbish. No one else speaks on the mic apart from Bo Dallas. And then you've got the videotapes that were intriguing, but they dragged it on. And I'm thinking, when people are telling me to wait and be patient, I'm like, from this moment on, even if I'm patient, they are not even going after top. They're not going after the top of the card talent. They're going after people that nobody cares about what happens to them. Even if we like these people, I like Karrion Kross, I really like Chad Gable, but nobody cares what happens to American Alpha because they're booked 50-50 week in, week out. They're not strong opponents. Nobody cares what happens to Final Testament. They don't win any matches. I tell you, the icing on the cake was in this face-off they had, which they set up like it was going to be some 5-on-5 War Games match, which it would never happen and it better not happen. I said last week, Scarlett Bordeaux in TNA, I liked her. The smoke show, she was cold. She was wrestling guys. But in WWE so far, she doesn't wrestle anyone. Today, I watched her throw Nikki off the apron like she was nothing. They all got left out in the ring. It was terrible. I won't be able to shift the fact that they took out Alpha Academy or American Alpha, whatever they are, supposedly supposed to take them out. And every week American Alpha came back, had tag team matches with them, beat them. But then the week after they came back, Chad Gable was backstage looking like he got shot in the head by a sniper. And then the next week he came back and was fine wrestling again. Everyone who comes up against this group so far, The Miz, everyone, they just are able to walk around fine after. There's no story to what they're doing. They seemingly are baby faces, but they're baby faces who arrived on the roster by killing everyone backstage. So everyone's cheering them. But today there was not even a response because people know the truth. If you don't build storylines for these guys, if you don't take them out of the wrestling gaze and the wrestling bubble and remove them from the arena and take them to a Wyatt compound or the forest or something like that, they just look like cosplay. It's 2024. It just looks like cosplay. I'll be honest with you. They're not much different from the War Raiders. There's not much different. They all look like they're cosplaying. There's no story behind them. What are we doing? And the other people, apart from Bo and Rowan, you could say, but realistically, Bo, they have no well, yeah, Rowan does, but the rest of them, they don't have no connection to Bray Wyatt anyway. So they're following this said cold leader who's leading them to nothing. They're not leading them to tag team title matches, United States title matches, Intercontinental title matches. Bo Dallas is nowhere near the top of the roster in terms of the WWE Championship. But you've got people like Damian Priest and that, like, let's be honest, the World Heavyweight Championship isn't the same as the one what Cody's got. So Bo Dallas should be leading towards going after that title. At the moment, I have to ask you guys this serious question, and I'm probably going to get a lot of backlash, but I've had enough. Let me know in the comment section. Is this Wyatt Sicks even bigger than the B team, who were tag team champions? At the moment, they're on the level of the social outcast, and I've had enough. I'm not every casual wrestling fan, which I'm not. I'm a wrestling nerd, but even me, I'm not tuning in to Twitter and X and Instagram and all these stupid things all the time to check QR codes to find out what's going to happen, because up until now, with all the QR codes and all the secret Nightbird messages and all this stuff, what has it led to? The Final Testament, American Alpha, The Miz. People who lose every week on Raw. Nothing's happened. That Bray Wyatt went after Mick Foley and Jerry the King Lawler and Seth Rollins and Daniel Bryan and Goldberg. And these guys are going after Final Testament and American Alpha. I rest my case. I've been your boy Savage. Comment, like, subscribe, share. Let me know what you think in the comment section. In the words of the great man, though, run.